Sierra Leoneans, what's the way to do for push this country go before? Wake up your body and do something.
This is not the program Do Don't Clean with Babash.
Oh, we never did.
Wait for make this problem, you're so in.
Do Don't Clean back.
Hello, my family. This na Babash again with the program Do Don't Clean. My family, just like I promised, say I will come up with the part 2 of Dr. Kande Yumkela answers all questions. Pan the town hall meeting where I be attend in England. This na the climax of the town hall meeting where I be attend na England. And my family, not just happily, a very, very strong member of the coalition for change, the C4C, when Kevin Meziga, himself beget something for say concerning the National Grand Coalition.
Because we share the same vision for Salon. Everything we can don't tell us say we do na Salon, now C4C want do. All the things that we want for improve na Salon, we as C4C want, now don't tell me about.
If they talk something like they get the same ideology. So to me it's like then two parties and they want come together for let me go get a change in our country. So my family when I just sit and try for digest waiting that they can publish to us. So
Kevin, one day me and Kevin don't meet face to face, no?
That's all.
One day we don't meet. I see Kevin in video where they talk about C4C. One other time we talk on the phone. Today they just call and almost say, can they say I want to talk to you? Let people see that politics not a fact. Politics means say, I hear you waiting the man say, I call it. I say, well, Kevin, you say can go listen to me back. So Kevin, there's a coalition for Oko. Josiah, I know say they can join me later from SLPP. If in the SLPP still vote for me, it's not bad. But you now, they say C4C, P4P, NGC coalition. What do you think? You see, I'm sharing my platform.
Thank you, Dr. Yumkela, Mrs. Yumkela, Madam Women's Secretary, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kevin Metzger and I'm a Sierra Leonean. Is there anybody here who is not a Sierra Leonean? We have one. Welcome to Sierra Leone in London. Well, can they tell you say me and don't talk? Today na the first time me and I make four. We not to some kind of device or television screen showing. But we don't talk. And we talk because we share the same vision for Salon. Everything we can they don't tell us say we do na Salon. Now C4C want do. All the things that we want for improve na Salon, we as C4C want, now don't tell me about. This government and its standard opposition know that this is a time for change. They know that we will say no more to nepotism, no more to cronyism, no more for putting them in back pockets. And who are the people who will do that? It's going to be people like Kande Yumkela. It's going to be people who are in the KKY movement. It's going to be people who are in the C4C movement. It's going to be you and me, the Sierra Leoneans who want a better Sierra Leone. Who want a Sierra Leone that we have seen with our very eyes up until the 70s. And we've seen it wash away like sand when the rain falls in our palms. No more. Together, we will make that change. Yes. And C4C is talking to KKY movement. We are working together. We will work with any party other than APC and SSP. I tell now one thing. If you join APC, you join SLPP. If you want to join, we got a problem. But they are left you party first. Because we don't need Pandakadeke business. So I thank Dr. Yumkela for giving me this platform and the opportunity to tell you that we will work together. That in working together, it's about Sierra Leone. It's not about me. It's not about any of my executive members or anybody that we may be putting forward. It's not about Dr. Yumkela. It's about what we all feel together, our country, Sierra Leone, the change we want. Because what Dr. Yumkela has told you is right. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, in 5 years, you will not know Sierra Leone if it is run properly. In 3 years, you will not know Sierra Leone if it is run properly. Because if you have a big tank of water and you are siphoning from that tank into smaller tanks, but the pipe burst my road, what are the beach? We go fix their hole there. We put new pipe. The new pipe is not people to rule Sierra Leone, but to govern the country together in partnership with the people of Sierra Leone. That's what KKY movement is about, and I buy into that. And that's what C4C is about. That's why I bought into that. We promise to work together with Dr. Yumkela. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. I can tell you that of the 14 new parties that have asked for registration, at least 7 of them are from Una diaspora. Because Una want change. Americans, Brits, Germans, 7 of them party, then they get diaspora connection. But yet, put your money, usa your money today, put your organization for the change we want. Thank you very much. God bless you.
A great opportunity for me too, because I want to follow you all this while, and I'm really happy for you for the first time and choose to follow you, because I never into politics, but now I'm happy to follow the KKY movement just because of the kind of determination and the power of things the way we continue to the right direction as a good leader. I've been on I see you and the C4C, the ADP, kind of where they follow now, and I get the same kind determination and plans for work towards. And we all know that the SLPP and the APC, they get strong political background, and with people that so far, too much illiteracy. Because if you find out to today, you will see some people living in the dynasty wearing things that they go bad and bad, all because they don't even know what's in the apple. Only fear of we know what's in the apple. If you say any chance day where you and the ADP or C4C can come to one together for fight against these two political parties and kick them out and we will go for them.
Okay, my own question is actually about multinationals, the way multinationals do business in Africa. And this is because I know there is oil prospecting now in Sierra Leone. And there is also, case in point, the social effects of that in Nigeria and the Niger Delta. So my question is, what would you do to do business differently with the multinationals that are coming to our continent and creating ecological disasters and then running away when it's time to fix them?
Thank you, Doctor. My name is Adi Sise. I'm from Brighton. You mentioned earlier about our healthcare system. A lot of questions have been asked about the same thing. My question here is, I read an article which says over 700,000 people in Sierra Leone are suffering from mental health. And almost half of that figure are actually suffering from induced psychosis and depression. The last time I visited the country, I saw most of my friends, or I call my homies, they were taking heavy drugs that are supposed to be prescribe drugs or control drugs. When you come into power, how do you intend to regulate the pharmacy holders to actually stop selling these prescribed drugs that are so unharming to our people?
That's a tough one. Fortunately, there's you, there's Dr. Monde, there's a top Sierra Leonean who has been the vice president for the American Pharmacopoeia Association. He's been working on the region to build capacity on drug quality and control of drug flow, especially illicit drugs. Folks like you, so this one I not get answer for, I not say the whole thing, not so. So I beg you and Dr. Monde and Dr. Lukule, where they head this American Pharmacopoeia organization. Do you wanna give me ideas? How do we deal with that? But it is true, beaucoup psychosis there and there. From the stress of the war to the endemic stress of poverty and unemployment. Something that you know they see all them click in the common. All them man and chocolate themselves na some corner in Africa. Yeah, I learned one bad statistic recently. I don't want to embarrass the region. The highest murder rate is not in Freetown. I was shocked. It's in another region outside of Freetown. Highest murder rate. 10 minutes and they kill 2 people every weekend. Nobody knew that in Freetown. So you got to help me. JD, that's an assignment. How do we deal with that kind of situation? That one I not get answer for. The other one was coalition. Kevin, you everything man and they say, they don't have feto. They expect coalitions. PDP, C4C, Orange for Blue. Now we all come together. If we scatter, then a bit will. But we have to be realistic. We're going to put egos outside the door. Yeah? Let's be real. Comparative advantage. Who can win? The problem about Sierra Leone is we all get big ego. Where some of women, they do partnerships with big banks, big corporations. Where we meet in a board, we go in there knowing the value added of this company, the value added of this bank, and this institution. So you know they can bluff your company. We come there, we put the plan together. Hey, World Bank, can you bring this? Bank of America, this. Salon, all man are the same. All man, you know, the illusion so big. Now that make you see 20 people, one be president inside one football club. All man are Beckham.
You were talking about energy, which I think is a big deal. I mean, we all know about the Bumbuna hydro dam. That's been going since before I was born, apparently. My question is, in terms of energy, in your first term, and also in terms of you leaving a legacy, what do you have in your mind as a long-lasting legacy to Sierra Leone with regards to energy, in terms of people getting basic electricity, and also in terms of the exposure to the internet? Because I come from a technology background, so I just want to know what your thoughts and views were on that.
I have 2 things to say, Doctor, and I'm very grateful for you, for God to bring you in our midst. And this for all Sierra Leoneans. Don't tell me question. I have to vet this out because it's important. Dr. Kanelukela, God has sent you to Sierra Leone. I mean, if we miss this opportunity for this gentleman to lead us from our poverty, from our things that we cannot involve, and I'm telling every Sierra Leone here today, unless you like to sleep in London, or I like to go to Africa. So I want everybody in this place today, big back, and I want you to support the doctor and the wife to rule Sierra Leone in any necessary means. I'm ready because I believe in him. And because I talk to God, I pray to God, and God has shown me this was the man that had to take Sierra Leone from the bottom of the earth to the up. And the last question that I have is, I was born in Kano, and diamond was found in the 1930s. And my father died in the war. And all the money that he had, the government of Sierra Leone never give back to the children. And I believe that the Beer families, the Paul Beers I'm talking about, there was a treaty that signed that the tax that they were taking from diamonds transform Sierra Leone have to go back to the children of Connaught and those that were working for them. And all the mining houses in Freetown, I learned that they have sold them. So I want you to tell me, how are we going to get those houses for people who we are working in Sierra Leone and they can get this property back?
My name is Tamudosa, and I'm Secretary General for the C4C. You must have spoken to some of my colleagues before, which was a great news to me, and I must say you are welcome and we appreciate you. My question is very brief, it's straightforward and brief. My question is, we are exporters of minerals. There are loads and loads of minerals in Sierra Leone, and we export them. But the nation, the country, is not benefiting from those minerals. And even the people where these minerals are mined are suffering, they are struggling through environmental damage and other disease and so on and so forth. These companies evade taxes. They don't pay their taxes, or they told not to pay taxes. But there are certain people in society benefiting from those taxes. How are you going to deal with that? As if you become president, how are you going to handle the tax evasion, the mining, and the deprivation and other things that cause to the people in those local areas? Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's a question here on mining. The Connaught question is on mining. My sister, I didn't answer your question on the oil exploration. This is why I say I'm going to do a special symposium in around early November on beneficiation. That's what the South Africans call it, beneficiation and value addition in minerals, yeah, and our raw materials. So we'll have an open discussion on that. But what I know also, there's misinformation. Those who are supposed to inform us about what is going on in the mining sector are not doing it. Yeah, we have a lot of assumption about what is happening. We don't even know how much some of those companies are giving government. There are some things when you do these agreements, what government says, give us the money, we will do it, especially environmental protection. This is why I prefer an open dialogue. Yeah, I'm going to give that opportunity. So anybody of you who wants to pitch in, we'll give you the dates and time to have that open discussion. Because why? All of us know that we are supposed to have these minerals and they are supposed to liberate us. If they're not doing it, 56 years, 60 years, we need an open dialogue. And I tell you, it's not just the companies, it's not their fault. Some of them are doing very well. In some cases, they're running at a loss, if you know the numbers, because commodity prices dropped. Yeah? But other African countries are doing well. Why? What is the sector governance? What is the nature of the deals? So I want to suspend that till November. I'm going to have a good discussion. I've been moving around. I've been talking to companies. I've been talking to banking institutions that are financing some of those operations, just to say, how do we make our people benefit? We have this dream of wealth. You know, when I heard that we had oil, I started making speeches around the world about it. And I used to joke when I go to the Middle East. I say, very soon you will call us sheikhs too. But that dream was dashed, you know, just a few years ago. Now I know they're supposed to be auctioning another 8 blocks. I need to know more. Yeah. So I give you an opportunity. In 4 or 5 weeks, we'll have a symposium on natural wealth, natural capital, beneficiation, value addition. Is it possible to have a steel plant in Sierra Leone? What would it take? Is it possible to polish diamonds in Sierra Leone? What would it take? What should government do? How do we work with the companies? Environmental protection. How do we make sure in the mining areas that we protect the agriculture and the environment from pollution? Because that's all we have. You see what I mean? It's a complicated subject. I have some thoughts, but I want to give our geologist friends and Sierra Leoneans who know the subject matter and the finance guys to give us ideas how to do it. Yeah, the IT and renewables. Let me tell you, with $5 million, I can do 100,000 with a solar panel, 3 bulbs, phone charger. We call it Tier 1 access. The work I did on the Sustainable Energy for Development, we divided energy access into 5 categories. Tier 1 We call it basic energy, lighting. We've done studies to show the difference it makes in the lives of women and children to get just that extra 3 hours light in the evening. So initially, we set targets. X number of people every year we connect to basic lighting. Tier 2, energy for productive uses. Can you give them a quantum of energy that will make them have a refrigerator, that will make them grind the flour or the rice mill, that will make them use the TV and the computer? You see the tiers? If you don't break it that way, you just talk access, then put power line, but they not get electricity because it pass over. That's where I spent a lot of my life. That's why we split it into tier 1, tier 2. What you hope for, what I wanted to guarantee part of Sierra Leone is that we push it till tier 3 at least. Tier 3 is around that 1,000 megawatts, and 1,000 kilowatt hour per person per year. In places like US, it's 3,600. Here, probably Europe, 2,500, 3,000 kilowatt hour per person. So you can do different tiers for different communities and you take them along. But the urban areas, you push for energy for productive use, reliable power supply. But yes, in the schools already, energy plus computers. Bring that digital economy to the people. Because as I said, it's part of the diversification strategy. So I like your question, that's the future. But yes, I would, in my energy policy, I'll have all of this. And I can tell you, as I said, 100,000 a year, you can do like that, $5 million. Because those technologies for $45, $50, you can have the one solar panel, 3 bulbs, phone charger, tier 1, and so on, and you can grade up. I've worked with a lot of those groups, D-Light, Mobisol. My wife and I visited another group in Rwanda, pushing those. I've been doing advisory this past year. I've done advisory in Rwanda, done it in Senegal for these things. And then you also can divide your country into districts. That's what the Senegalese have done. They divided their country into 12 concessions. They call it districts. And they invited foreign companies. The Moroccans took the north. But they've guaranteed the tariffs. You build the power plant, you do the transmission, you supply, we guarantee we'll buy the energy. EDF is in the center. We can do those things. But the macro policy has to be stable. The financing has to come. For me, that's my forte. And goodwill matters. Goodwill matters. People know that Dr. Yunkela spent 10 years of his life advocating for energy access. Energy for basic needs, but energy for industrialization and growth. And many have told me, they say, Kande, we know if you are president, we don't need to convince you. We just come and invest because we know you know the laws to put it. And that's unique. You know the buyer. You understand what I'm saying? I've worked with the bankers. Bank of America, European Investment Bank, ADB and others, thinking through these issues. But also you link with national power pool. Guinea can supply the 4 countries in Man River Union because God given that water table, so PT and others. You need some big projects to Bumbuna 1, Bumbuna 2, expansions. But there are some technical problems. That is one of the worst projects we've done. Some of that started when I was in class 5 as well. Cost over, and by the time they're done, you can build 5 more Bumbuna with the money. But that started 40 years ago. But there are new things we can do now,
When the family, when now the time for la read the comments they make on the first part of this question and answer of Kande Kole Yunkela. The first one they come out from Super Marge. He say, Salon people me I know say na the right man this for Salon, but I don't know for una. Then they come out from Super Marge. The next one come out from Mr. Ansu. He said the man where they call KKY, he said we love you so much and God bless you. That they come out from Mr. Ansu. And another person again make a comment where say this not the right man for a change. That person they name Lumti Bulia. Then the other person we give a comment in name Tambapi Bokari. Tambapi Bokari he say Baba Sheikh, thank you brother. He say for be better for the APC, for give you the contract, for do the late Monsieur Fadika statue in a Freetown than the rubbish where they put down in a Freetown. This come out from Tamba Pibokai. The try for talk say if I be filing $1 million for the contract for make Monsieur Fadika statue in a Freetown. Thanks very much, Mr. Bokai. Mr. Naposi really do sculpture. And the other comments he come out from Donald Jarrett Top. He say this man Yum Keller, he say definitely not the man we go save Salone. He say and I hope say when he become president, he will set an inquiry for investigate the misuse when they misuse the public funds by the last corrupt government, from the president to the ministers. It comes out from Donald Jarrett Top. The last one he comes out from Unapologetic Moy. He say the man is a bit talk bad. And na great question same the answer. So my family, I think Naya will stop first. And the comments they would give on YouTube from the last video will be published. So we will continue the question and answers.
This is my question. Yes, sir. Millions of dollars have been siphoned out of the country and invested in scrupulous bank accounts and assets all over the world in the names of relatives and the individuals. What are you going to do to bring back those millions that have deprived the nation?
Thank you very much. The question I want to ask, I don't listen to his speech eloquently. How are you able to protect people for clinical research? Okay, because I don't volunteer during the whole of time. I did the background of clinical research and drug development. I volunteer, I go free to pass the exam, and say I go status. I go status and I allow practice. While they use people from phase 1 clinical trials, how are you able to guarantee that people have their safety for the future and in terms of drug development?
That one really show me how to do. Give me one page. Yeah? I don't ask somebody else na CDC for one for you. But you say give me one page. Yeah? Do you? I'm being honest. It's not a joke. Yeah? Because I know the dangers. And so I asked 2 people in fact to help me at CDC. I said, give me, what do I do in protecting our people so people know we just use that as guinea pig? Very important. So give me a page. Yeah? Tell me how to do it. Yeah?
You really want to fight corruption at Sierra Leone, but we get 2 particular institutions at Sierra Leone. If you not strengthen them, I don't think they will fight corruption. The civil service and the police who will be independent from political activity. How you get to do that?
You don't make Matari laugh me now. I will tell Alice if Matari laugh me, they ask me a question. Police and civil service, Lord have mercy. You can professionalize that. Let me tell you, I have spent a lot of time now with the police. They help me with security. Sometimes when they tell me some areas are no-go areas, quick while they take the phone and say, IG protects me or give me one police. And he's been generous. You know, every now and again he's coming the last 1 year to help me out. So you have to make them professional. Remember what Kaba did. That's why when people talk about Kaba, I say you forget history. Where it take we from. That police force was so bad, they had to bring a white man to fix it for us. We gotta give them incentives again and make them professional. Their job is to protect the sovereign state. So you depoliticize that as well. Civil service, then they will have a right to put bottom, but we can do it too. I know we can. There are areas you can plug, meritocracy can come back. You don't need party card for get job. Now meritocracy. This is why President don't sit only in your office, work the ministries. Go sit down there, but let the director of agriculture talk to you. Then you look and say, this is a bit what they talk about. The director of health, now real professional we know public health delivery, or we just appoint them. If you don't visit them, you would not know. It's not just about political apparatchik in some of these key ministries. They gotta know their substance. And I know there are ways we can do it. Yeah? Stolen property, then the law left and forth. Yes, okay.
they tackle about the in Sierra Leone?
Hello, sir. Good evening. I'm Charles. I'm African children of Sierra Leone. I'm born in Central. But what you have to ask, sir, please do it a bit. They talk say forfeit corruption, right? Forfeit corruption not an easy thing. When you fight corruption, corruption fights you back big time. The same thing when you go on in Nigeria right now, with the integrity when the man gets, the president gets, and the fight him back. How you go able to handle that situation they are? Because most of the people there now, when they're in power, they all don't, well, I would say, they all don't get money. The money what they get now, they will use that for fed anybody who want to do anything. What do you go able to do for fed that situation they need? Now that's my question. Thank you very much.
Political economy of corruption. You see how many times corruption comes up? Now the same thing we bring people there from Kenema, Pujo, or Cambia. Corruption, they all the same, they 24/7, and they feel it now. How for fact I know is you.
Hello, delegates. Me question for woman in a salon. Like everywhere, Africa woman they will suffer injustice. Yeah, we not get gender equality, especially in terms of the law. My brother, but woman they lock up now prison na salon. They not even get advocate. When I know they say if, because once we don't see that plan, so you can be president man. So what you go do for we women then from childbirth, let the woman they don't go born and they die. Man they go beat them, then they go lock them up. What you go do for make sure say Australian women enjoy equality and justice?
Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And our candidate, we are from the same country. I have no question. My question is that it's not to him, it's to the audience. As far as I know, not everybody has decided to go with our candidate. As I have interviewed some people even say, suppose we ABC has a candidate from North, and his suggestion I learned that I say no. So what I want to say to you, the question is that, what can we do to push this guy ahead? It's not to ask him so many questions. There are a lot of, I have spent 25 years in classroom. I know what this man, what all he's saying, he doesn't need to start originally. There are so many models. Scandinavian models, I lecture in shooting Uppsala University, the best one is there.
Question, please. Question.
So he can take any reliable model to apply in Sierra Leone and perfect. He doesn't need to start afresh. So my question is, what can we do to help this man to move ahead? I am a strategic manager.
Question, please.
So please, I want you to bring your suggestion to help this man to use your suggestion and make things positive.
His question is very valid. So the man said, how would I self or walk the talk? How would you finance the operations? Are you ready to come home for 2 weeks to make your opinion count? The man has a point. Let us not do the same old game. That one person is coming to fix it. That we will sit out and criticize, and you will criticize forever. The other one told you, those to change, they don't get a hold. They get the cash. They have the machinery. But you can deny them dominance if you engage. So I just elaborated your question. One minute.
Thank you. That's a big one. The key indicators of a successful democracy are strong institutions and a viable economy. What policies will you put in place to address these key areas? And then secondly, to become president of Sierra Leone, what country in Africa would you like Sierra Leone to be like in the next 20 years? What are you going to do and what are the policies?
And it's awful. I can give you examples: Ghana, Rwanda, Botswana, Mauritius. They've done extremely well. Botswana, Mauritius are not big. Rwanda is also relatively small, landlocked, but they transform. A lot lot of things we can learn. In Rwanda, they can vaccinate 80% of their children every year. Why can't we do it? You understand what I'm saying? So there are models. You don't have to go to Europe and America now. Right in Africa, where transformation is taking place, we can do it. And you're right. You need institutions and policies. That's why you see we're doing this dialogue. What are the policies we need to put in place? What institutions do we strengthen? How do we ensure accountability? I fully agree with you.
Thank you, everyone. All Sierra Leoneans in this place. I just want to say thank you to Dr. Yumukelia for being here this night. The question I want to ask Dr. Yumukelia, if you become the president of Sierra Leone, what can you do about the driving standard and vehicle maintenance in Sierra Leone? Because so many people these days died. My own brother died last year with a proper driver, good professional driver for British Embassy. They died.
Vocational technical education, very crucial. I know some of the vocational technical schools, their vehicle maintenance workshop is not built. We got to build it. Yeah? For example, in Kenema, they need that expertise. But also in technical institutes and so on. We have to do it. From automobile repair to wiring houses to plumbing. If some man plumber and a host, you will do repairs for the next 20 years. So I fully agree with you. But that's VOTEC. Vocational technical education, support those institutions. It will be part of our education emergency program. All right, we're almost done. The two last questions, we're almost done.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yomkela. My name is Joe Will. I'm a general practitioner in the UK here. And my first question to you is, I have visited our country and I have contributed in diverse ways to the primary care in Sierra Leone, but it is very poorly developed. And it is crucial that we develop the primary care in Sierra Leone before we can succeed in transforming that medical sector. So I am not going to ask you a question, I just want you to think about it and what we should be doing. My question to you now is that the opponents are using some kind of method which is, I would say, unconventional to break your back, if I may put it that way. And they are saying, that man in a book don't want to talk. I was in Freetown and I traveled to the south and the east. I happened to meet a lot of people, and all what they told me that book that man say. Now, how are you going to reach out to those who are not understanding your message? Have you got any plans, or what plans have you made? And I hail from Imperative Dombom district, and the hopeless disregard for the people of that area, the environmental destruction after mining. They can stand here and talk the whole evening, but there are lots of things I think we should do, because our business is not a one-man business, it's every man business.
Thank you. Thank you. Please, doctor, send me some information on that primary health care. They say a book number at the top. If the man a book number at the top, no afraid I left a lay operate. Let's me now operate. Why go get them not to book man and back inside the order 2,000. Now I say, how many students? Student there is there and 1/3. How many trader and Okada? The other half. Even then self one change. So I've said to people, all right, let us accept that I'm an academic. Let us accept that I'm a Kenyamui. Leave me alone like a message, go to the village. That will not change. Just let me be. Let you see why they talk Creole original. They must understand. Usa are not able. We do the same thing when we don't do the development. If you go to a location like India and Gujarat, where I have gone, you speak your language, they translate. So let me use the techniques of social mobilization where I don't learn. Let me see if the man don't understand. If they don't understand me, to God me and you go, but they translate for me, man. Not so. That's what I'm asking. But if people are still putting blocks in our way, something they were afraid. Not so. So all I'm saying, let's watch what happens the next 4 months. Let them give us the freedom to reach out. You already called in say. He not speak English. He says Saloni new face. And that new face is Nakande. Usa Mino will connect. So got 50,000 youth there everything out in arrows. Not so give me the freedom. We'll prove our opponents and our detractors wrong. All we need is the freedom to operate. Last question. And I deserve to eat after that.
Okay. My name is Wilfred Cole, and I'm a professional in the international development sector. And Dr. Kennedy Mukela, your CV or your track record is very impressive, because that was obtained in the international development sector, where there are established systems, things work in order. And so managing such organizations, it is nothing compared to managing a country which over the past 53 years has been subjected to very, very useless governments which have contributed nothing towards establishing institutions and systems. So I would like to know how we are going to tackle this problem, which I think is attitudinal change, not only among the politicians or the leaders in government, but the people themselves. Your biggest challenge will not be the politicians, which you are doing very well handling them at the moment. But then, when you become president, how are you going to tackle attitudinal change among the people of Sierra Leone? I would like you to give me just maybe 2 or 3 strategic objectives which you have in mind already in tackling attitudinal change, and how are you going to operationalize those objectives? Thank you.
Thank you. You not to question as such. It's barely, I think, a month ago since we last spoke at the hall. Now maybe tell you, say, there you go. I say, the SLPP say they don't want you. They say you're a fake man. They say you're a Kenyamui. Then they talk to some sign at the Southeast, say, well, I'm going to Kenyamova. Me, I'm a Lebanon. I tell you, oh, I will go follow you. Today, me, they tell you, say, I get for me grand chief patron for NGC. Although you don't talk on behalf of NGC, but me get for follow you. Me believe in you. Me go see the same school you go, and you don't ever let me down. Me don't say, we for be proud of you. Who's from Brady I want to go and get picky like that? Show you why. Who's from Brady I want to go and get picky like that? Put your hand up. Well, that's your answer, Saro. That's your answer, APC. That's your answer, SFPP. We want her there for Sierra Leone. It's a new place. We will change that, Saro. We will transform Saro. Thank you.
The attitudinal change question is a difficult one. Human behavior is hard to manage, but it is doable. What I will tell you, my brother, first of all, I would want to learn. Remember, this administration, they've been doing attitudinal change for 10 years, right? They've had the office. I would want to know, just best practice. How did they do it? What did they achieve? Where did they fail? Because I know they do in 10 years. I don't know if attitude change or a change for 2 will not be the expected. But let me see what they've done and where they failed. Second, what I know is leadership, the tone you set matters. If you push accountability, you hold yourself accountable to God Almighty Fala. If you had gone to Ghana, 35 years ago, nobody will convince you Ghana will be a B. In our classification, we used to have in the UN a B or A station today. They were so bad they had Ghanaian teachers in Sierra Leone. Somebody changed it. Rwanda, 25 years ago, you would have written them off. They changed. The leadership put results-based management, challenged each minister to have clear deliverables, and they pushed it. So what am I saying? There are models I don't even need to invent. I borrow. I go to those who have succeeded in transforming their countries. And I'm doing that now. I'm asking the Rwandans, for the doctors here, how come you can immunize almost 80% of your children? What are you doing? And they have systems. How come you can afford to give medical insurance to people and we will reach Basuna? They are doing it. So there are innovative ways. So for attitudinal change, my brother, objective number 1, accountability. We at the top will be accountable. Number 2, I don't tell you, me I dey visit the ministry, the man, I dey go fend there every quarter. Minister, you dey see me, I know they tell you when I dey come. I dey go sit down with you directors. What are you doing in the ministry? Show me. How can I help you do your job? That's what I'm used to. How can I help you do your job? If I see say better no day, they have to see we mean what we say, not to so. Some man go get for way. But then when we're able, we facilitate them. Let people see what in success mean. The same with governance. There is a country I know, the president goes every quarter to another region with the whole cabinet for 1 week. For go check the project there. Let's see. If they may not give you money for put watanaya, 2 years you know put you company and they can't check because they know it's in and do. You gotta do those techniques. Walk the country, walk the halls. Not to let them pull the devil and dance for you. They will do it. But 1 full week in a location, checking the schools, checking the court barrier, checking the roads, the water well. And you announce it public. So people have the freedom like here to say, Pa, you been tell we say that they can't make water well now. Uno siamo. Before they say, Mr. Minister, but I know from my notes that will be allocate 100,000 naira. What's happy? Before the people. You gotta do things to change attitude. Yeah? When I did organizational change, I bring people there from Harvard, Granville University. Yes, structure's been there. But I tell you that same change management in the work under. Some certain principles are applicable. People feel say no they work. British government, they do total change management and ERP in the administration for safe cost. Real-time e-government for accountability, reporting. Yeah, you can bring some of those. I don't see an Ghana, I don't see an Rwanda. If they walk there, to God we say, go walk. Look, just take one example. Whenever you get some administration as salon, when they say cleaning day, to God all man they clean, not so. Now we slack back. Be persistent, be consistent. That is what has helped Ghana. The governments have changed 3 times, but to God certain values in Ghana, they push us. They take it from administration to administration. Let all of us join hands to say we want a better Sierra Leone and we define it better. We are setting another example here. My brother Josiah, SLPP, he don't chastise me, but me and he will get that game day. Now my big brother, I go in birthday the last day. No, so Josiah, where you 60? Today tell me, say I don't form her. That's the politics we want.
When we found I think say I go end the program for today. Me, na Baba Sheikh, we are the producer of this program, Don't Clean. And na me say Tata. See you next time.
The same old system and the same problem.
So wait till we for do, we never did.
Wait for make this problem, yeah, so wait.